All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We have a very exciting week ahead with the real start of earnings. I'm talking bank stocks, tech stocks, Tesla, Netflix, Johnson & Johnson. It's a real earnings season. It's going to be exciting, but I just want to focus on a couple of the plays because we don't have that much economic data. Next week is PAL, and then we still have to deal with all of the other earnings. So we're really kicking things off. If you don't remember what happened last week, it was filled with short squeezes, CPI, PPI, and even Friday, we hit a new high, but it kind of chilled out a little bit. But overall, the start of earnings season, it started off pretty decent. That's what I want to talk about because now with a lot of companies reporting this week, there's going to be a big emphasis on the regional banks that report, but just take a look how some things have ran up. What we have been talking about is that the pre-earnings run-up has been so massive on some names. Again, Tesla, they report this week. Go take a look at Netflix as well. But if you take a look at the companies that report and did well, even like JP Morgan on Friday, the reaction hasn't been so positive after the report because a lot of them had this run up, and that's what analysts are discussing now. Will the whole it could have been worse, will that justify earnings run ups? Or now with everything doing good, everybody pricing in soft landing, you're near all-time highs, do these earnings have to actually be good to hold up the prices? So Chad, this earnings season is going to be wild. We got a couple of different plays, a big emphasis on the sympathies, got a little bit of economic data, and then there's a couple of things going on globally that we got to talk about. So drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. That's here right now. You could join live. You could trade with us. It's free 99. We will see you there in the morning, but let's get into everything. And actually, before I do that, this is the random account generator, okay? I need your help. Today is Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. What you got to post on this watch list is a random option trade. Keep it below $100. And tomorrow, before the ding ding, the bell, we are going to pick a random play. So let's go. Thank you for participating. But I thought that would have been the calendar. So that was a good reminder. All we're getting this week as far as data, there's going to be a little bit of manufacturing tomorrow. Tuesday, we're going to get retail sales and then some light real estate data. I think even through Wednesday, you also get the building permits and then existing home sales on Thursday and then the PMIs on Friday. But for the most part, U.S. data should not dominate. And like I said at the beginning of the video, we have Powell next week. And like I've been saying, I think the earnings are going to be more important. So the data should be chill. We will be getting a couple things from Asia. Even over the weekend, you heard about U.S. chip CEOs talking about a trip to Washington, about the China policy, people talking about the Chinese recovery. I think they even had real estate prices over the weekend. So just remember, there was a little bit of a recovery back and forth. Even BABA last week, that was a big run up. People were talking about the tech crackdown. Well, there's a little bit of a cautious tone coming in from the weekend. So we'll see how that plays out. And then even as far as the yen and Japan and all of that, there is going to be CPI data out of Japan, and that could move some things. But really what you want to look for on the yen, it's July 28th or July 29th. That will be the next like policy or Fed meeting for the Bank of Japan, and that could get things moving. So one, I hope you watched the video we talked about with Japan. It's just the latest video before this one, but why that's so important, and it is applying to the context of whatever happens next week. But as far as the sentiment created from earnings, watch the dollar. A lot of people are talking about what happened last week with the dollar getting destroyed, and that was a result of other currencies even strengthening like the yen. So this has been a big deal, and this is starting to get traction in terms of narrative. And as far as the end of earnings, raising rates, the peak Fed, Powell, this will start to get very important. So just throwing that out there and tying it all in. But overall, the data is going to be pretty simple. We shouldn't really get economic events, and then what it's really going to be about is the earnings. So this is what I said from the beginning. Just take a look at how many regional banks will be reporting. So even tomorrow, Monday, after hours, it's starting with like 3 or 4 regionals. Tuesday, Monday morning, you're going to get several regionals and financial companies. Then we're going to get Schwab and then Bank of America. After hours on Tuesday, you get Interactive Brokers. There'll be a couple of companies that aren't financial related like JB Hunt, and then coming into Monday or Wednesday, you'll get ASML and then Halliburton and Baker Hughes. But all the way until Monday, even really till the end of the week, there's going to be a lot of banks and a lot of regionals that will have a focus. And then obviously Wednesday, Netflix, Tesla, after hours, those are going to be the big ones. But ASML, TSM, I'm pointing these out, even Las Vegas Sands, these will relate to some of the plays, but these can start touching on a lot of different industries. Even on Wednesday, you're getting Discover, and then Friday, American Express. Watch out for this for any consumer clues. Las Vegas Sands for anything related to travel, and then ASML, TSM, anything related to the chips and AI. So that's why this week starts to get important, even like CSX, JB Hunt. But this week is going to start to give us the first set of clues for all the industries, and then we are really going to see how this summer is going to play out. So Chad, very simple. Data should be straightforward. Bigger reaction is expected on the earnings, then more earnings in Powell next week. Let's see what happens with rate hike odds in the dollar and currencies. That was the story from last week, but in the meantime, every morning you're going to wake up to a new headline about a company and how it weighs on an overall industry. So it's going to be exciting. I hope we see you there live for all of it, but let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I got several different plays, so I'm going to say it for the third time here. I hope you watch that yen video, but that yen play, like we talked about, it could either be very imminent or it could be down the road. It's good to hear people talking about the dollar and some of those other things, so just keep that play in mind. But now, as far as this week and what I am going to be going after, I think it is now time for earnings and sympathies, and believe it or not, the first play I'm going to start with is NVIDIA. So even though this week is going to be all about Tesla and Netflix, that ASML and then also TSM on Thursday morning, I think this can feed into the AI stuff a little bit. Now, last earnings, ASML, TSM, they reported before NVIDIA, and you didn't really see the same clues of AI's guidance or NVIDIA's guidance that led everything going crazy. But if they do come with anything good or something really bad out of ASML or TSM, I really do think NVIDIA or even AMD could be a play. And then even what we were doing on Friday, NVIDIA has a lot of dollars. Now, if you play it small, approach it cautiously. It doesn't look, it's not that crazy. Be cautious, but even with the back and forth with these earnings and sympathies, I definitely think there's going to be an opportunity for a lot of dollars and a lot of earnings setups, even coming into the next few weeks. So that is going to be play number 1. Watch out for that. Then play number 2, I got to bring it back, baby. Airbnb. And I made an option trade on this. And yes, I only buy Airbnb when it's high. I do not buy it when it goes cheap because I start to buy all the other stuff that goes cheap with it. But Airbnb has earnings. I decided to go with an option trade. I believe I grabbed the September 190s. I grabbed 10 of these at like 60 cents on Friday as it was holding and breaking that 141. But this is a early options trade. I wanted to wait a little bit because I do not like this run up, and I thought the premiums were already jacked up, but they have earnings in a month. Why am I going after it now? We're getting the early rollout of earnings. You are going to hear from travel like Las Vegas Sands. Again, this is another sympathy play. I think there's a lot of good travel trends. Both airlines killed it. I mean, I'm throwing even Taylor Swift concert in there. A lot of different things, but literally what we've gotten from both analysts, travel, even the finance companies related to it, and I think we'll get more insight from the credit card companies this week. It's looking good for travel, and this is just a breakout point for Airbnb, and that's why I only buy it at the high. So went for a gamble here, but I think that will be a good one. So I'm going to be watching out for them, and like I'm saying, anything else travel related, that Las Vegas Sands, depending on how big of a beat or miss, it could fuel the travel industry. And just even look at what happened with Delta and all of that last week. But that is play number 2. And then finally, play number 3, obviously, Tesla and Netflix. Now, I don't have any plays on these. What I do have is Disney as it relates to Netflix. So I may want to play Tesla. I still may want to play Netflix. But as of right now, this is the issue I had in the morning, or in the morning, the beginning of the video. But we've been talking about this almost every morning last week. Was like, yo, this earnings run-up has already been massive, so some of the run-ups, I kind of think they already happened. Even Tesla, it was just a couple weeks ago they had the delivery numbers, so maybe after earnings would be the play. I think that was the story last month or last quarter with Netflix, so we're going to find out. But Disney, Airbnb, some of the earnings sympathies with a little bit more time for their run-ups, I think I'm more comfortable there, because if anything does change dramatically, you could always maneuver average in or average out. So those are going to be the main plays. As far as anything else, just watch the Japanese yen. Again, a lot of people were asking. You should watch that video. I think it's just good information. I just want the play on people's radar. There's many ways to go about it. I'm using /6J. If you don't want to use the futures, you can trade the ETFs like YCL, even FXY. But you got to understand the idea is going long on the yen and understanding why as it relates to rate hikes, the Japanese policy, and even what the Japanese are doing. That's why I said July 28th, watch that event. But this play, it could be dramatic, but the timing of it, there's a lot of things in the air. And what I will tell you for this week, you've seen it many times. When earnings season really turns on and kicks on, market goes into la-la land and just starts ignoring everything but earnings. So just stay focused with that. But going to be watching that. We have a couple of plays still in the RXRX, still in the China plays. We'll see how it all maneuvers, but I think a lot of sympathies and a lot of earnings this week. So, Chad, I hope you're ready, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember to remember. That's what you have. I need you to remember everything you've went through, everything you've learned, all the experiences. Don't forget it. You got to even remember the words, my friend. That is your armor. What good is the battle if you don't bring your shield in, chat? It's game time. We got a couple more months, but come on, you've already got to learn a lot. So save that 10%. Learn from the mistakes, learn from the success, and let's bring it home, baby. But Chad, I love you. I'm ready to see you, man. It's been a glorious weekend, so let's go. It's gonna be good to be back, so I'll see you in the morning, okay? Goodbye, Horn. That's it. It's ow. Okay. See, I can't. Okay. I just need this. Last time I punched it, but this time I need it. I'm gonna go, Horn.